Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and today I am doing a two-part intro. In this video, I'm going to introduce my No Pan Left Behind for 2024, along with a new project that I am going to be starting this year, and that is a project 10 uses. There are a few categories of makeup and products in my collection that because I do get so dedicated with panning that sometimes I feel like I neglect certain categories. So I do want to have a project where I am kind of having a roulette wheel type of project where I am drawing items in to use them 10 times. Not only to get my thoughts about the products if it's been a while since I've used them, but also just to get uses on those items. And that is my new goal now that I have my numbers very controlled, which I did my end of year inventory, and so I'll link that up in the eye and also down below. But I do want to explore the things that I have in my collection. So just like I am going to be doing a No Pan Left Behind, where I am hopefully going to hit the goal of using every single pan of eyeshadow in my collection this year, I'm also going to do a Project 10 Uses to get use on all those other little categories that sometimes get neglected. So without me rambling a whole bunch, I'm going to introduce these two projects. I'm going to let you guys know how I am going to be drawing my items in. I'm going to show you my panning journal and let you see how I have my No Pan Left Behind laid out. And then also, I guess since this is the intro, I'm going to be drawing in products. So I'll show you guys how all of that is set up. Excuse the sweater and the cozy kind of motif today. It is cold. And I know, so I live in Florida. It's 50 degrees outside and feels like 45, and there's a wind chill. So for Floridians, it is cold. So it is cold even inside my house. So I am trying to stay warm today. So I have my cup of coffee, I have my snuggly sweater on, and let me go ahead and roll into how I am doing these projects. So I've pulled up my Tiny Decisions app and I want to go over how I'm going to be doing this project. So as you can see, the first wheel that is highlighted is my Project 10 Uses, and then above that I do have a board or wheel set for my No Pan Left Behind. So if I click into, let's do my Project 10 Uses first. So this is my wheel that I have, and in this, let me see what categories I have loaded into this one. So there's some categories in my collection that don't have enough, I guess, variety in them for me to need to rotate because I am using up and kind of only replacing what's in my collection, or I have a certain order in which I want to use things up. So the first category that I'm rolling into my Project 10 Uses is my blush category. Now I am removing the blushes from the wheel that are in my 24 and 2024. So if I'm already focusing on panning those blushes, I do not want to roll them into this project. Now I am going to be working on a highlighter, but I did go ahead and I rolled in my 3 other highlighters into the randomized wheel. So that's my Becca Moonstone, my Fenty Beauty Girl Next Door, and also my Pat McGrath Divine Glow highlighter in the Bridgerton face palette. I did roll my lip products into the roulette wheel as well. With this one, I did leave in my lipsticks, like my bullet lipsticks that I want to use up, and that is basically because if I roll them into this project, then it forces me to use them 10 times if I'm struggling to use them independently myself. The other things that I rolled out was like the Laneige Sleeping Balm, because I'm not going to open up the Gummy Bear one until I'm finished with my other one. And I did roll out the other Laneige, what is it actually? Oh, the lip treatment balm, because I'm using that every single night as my sleeping lip mask. So those two I did roll out as not contenders because I'm already using them every day. I also rolled in my eyeliner collection, and so I did take out my 2 highlighting shades and the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in strapless because I am going to try to finish that up at the beginning of the year. So I'll probably already have a goal of using that 10 times, hopefully a month, but I did want to go ahead and get use on more of my eyeliners. I can't remember if I took Vice, which is my eyeliner that I want to pan this year. I don't know if I took Vice out of the roulette wheel or not. I'm pretty sure I did because I need to be focusing on that one independently anyway. Sorry if I moved a little bit. I had to go take care of a puppy situation. I have him locked out of the room, and even though my husband's home, the puppy is completely upset that he is not in here and involved. But the last category that I did roll in is my perfumes, and that is mainly because I don't have a trouble getting through my perfumes, but I do get kind of set on using one particular perfume, and I feel like rolling them in to this project will help me kind of get some rotation, and so I don't get so set on just like finishing one and using one at a time. I want to be able to enjoy all of my perfumes at once. So I did also roll my perfumes into the roulette wheel. So with this project, I am going to be updating it every single month on the 25th of the month. And while I am going to draw in probably 10 items at a time, that's kind of what I feel comfortable with right now. I'm going to be drawing in 10 items, but of course, like my other projects, and especially with my deck of panning, like I am very good at hitting my goals and having updates and rollouts. I think this is going to be a little bit slower of a project because, again, I'm trying to, I guess, undo a little bit of my learned behavior with panning, that I've become so hyper-focused on using things up that I am neglecting other things in my collection. So this is my project to kind of teach myself to slow down a little bit. So I'm going to have updates. I'll do my normal pictures and weights and all that jazz, but let me go ahead and roll my 10 items. So I have my wheel pulled up here and I'm still screen recording. So let's go with pick number 1. The Makeup Geek, and of course an ad pops up, but the Makeup Geek eyeliner in silver, which I actually do have that in my look today. Not my favorite, but hey, the wheel has spoken, so that's going to be item number 1. I know the Makeup Geek liners, they're very easy to break, like snap off, so I'm not going to be able to roll that one all the way up and gauge as far as like how much use I'm getting on it, but I do have a little bit of the product still sticking up above the plastic, and so we'll basically see after 10 uses, am I able to get it below the plastic? Maybe we'll set the goal of that. But 10 uses on that eyeliner. Then we have the NYX eyeliner in Dusty Mauve. Hopefully I'll have other products apart from eyeliners. Next we have the Too Faced RX Pillow Balm in the original kind of flavor scent, which is great because that's the one I have open already right now. The Sephora Collection eyeliner in Tiramisu, so that's just a brown eyeliner, so that one will be easy. The Clinique liner in black, so we are what, at 4 eyeliners at this point? I might say that I'm going to veto eyeliner since we are now at 4 of them, but it's such a big category that I understand why it keeps landing on eyeliners, but I think that if I get another eyeliner, I'm going to re-roll because 4 is enough for me to work on for one update, my lord. All right, we got a blush. So this is the Physician Formula Butter Blush. This is the one that had a bunch of different colors and the imprints in it. And I did repress that one, so it's all one color. So it'll look different than what it originally is in the packaging. But I am excited about using that blush since I've repressed it. So that was number 6. Then I have my Franken Cream Blush. This is a lot of the ColourPop blush stick in Pretty Thing, and this is my regular old cream blush in my e.l.f. powder container that I've been using forever and keep adding to. So this again will be an easy one to reach for. So we have the two blushes. The Clinique Cheek Pop in Heather Pop. Okay, I like that one. So we're at 3 blushes. I am loving this so far. Ooh, we got a highlighter. So this is the Pat McGrath Divine Glow, which is the highlighter in the Bridgerton face palette. And then our last pick is the Essence blush in Believing. I have all 4 of the Essence blushes that are in the, what is it, Befitting, Believing, Beloved, and Bespoke. So I have all 4 of those. I don't know which one is Believing, but I am excited to have that. So what do we have? 4 eyeliners, a lip product, 4 blushes, and a highlighter. I think that's what we ended up coming to, but if I ended up counting wrong and I only have 9 products, forgive me for that. I was trying to count on my fingers as I was rolling. Those are items that we're rolling into our Project 10 uses. Hopefully editing Erin has put up pictures and weights and all that jazz so I can keep track of these things. But that is going to be my intro for my Project 10 uses. I am so excited about getting more use on these products and updating you guys. But let me go ahead and roll into my info on No Pan Left Behind. So the day I'm filming this is actually the day that my finale for No Pan Left Behind went up, and so I'll make sure to link that up in the eye for you guys. But as of yesterday, yes, yesterday, I was able to use every single pan of eyeshadow in my collection. So I did hit my goal. It is the 29th of December as I'm filming this. I'm pre-filming quite a bit because I have a lot of like finales and empties and stuff to film. So I'm getting this one out of the way. But I was able to use every single pan of eyeshadow in my collection. So I am very thrilled about that. But let me look at my eyeshadow numbers. So we have 67 eyeshadow products. So that is eyeshadow palettes or like my singles that are Super Shocks and my Essence like liquid chrome or melted chrome. I forget what they're called. But the Essence ones, and then I have 1 liquid shadow. So all of those add up to 67 products. And I did just have to update my number of pans because I forgot that in one of my 12 pan palettes, I do have 3 shades that are out of that palette and used up. So I have a total of 736 pans of eyeshadow. So that is a lot of pans to get through in the upcoming year, and I already know I have a budget set aside to bring in more palettes this year. So I think with my No Pan Left Behind, I'm gonna roll in 5 palettes and or products. If it rolls in a Super Shock, then that's fine too. But I'm gonna roll in 5 because if I end up bringing another palette into my collection, then I want to be able to leave room and space to be able to also use that palette as well. So I'm only going to roll in 5 at a time. So let me see. Let me show you my journal and then we will do my roll-ins for my No Pan Left Behind. All right, so I have my panning journal right here, and with this one you will see I have my tabs down the side here. Hopefully during my updated Project Pan video I did show you guys how I have all this laid out and how I have transferred my other years into this book here. But let me show you what we're looking like at the end of 2023 and how I ended up setting up all of my No Pan Left Behind. So I basically had it on graph paper. I drew in all of my graphics. I marked off each shadow according to the color that was assigned to that month. And then anytime that I was done with them, I did go ahead and highlight them. So I had the 2 pages here of palettes. And as you guys can see, my two that I was doing last were the Odin's Eye Merry Christmas and the Too Faced Italian Spritz. So I did get both of those done in December. So if we roll over into 2024, let me see, do I have it marked? Yes, I had it marked with my ribbons. Very good. So this is what I am setting up for 2024. And of course, the Virgo in me hates this, but I did all these graphics prior to decluttering this Pat McGrath palette so that I did mark out. But basically, I have this set up, same thing with graph paper, but I did it in a little bit of a different way where I have my Natasha Denona up here. I did leave a little bit of room to grow with an additional mid-size palette. I was so excited to hear that she had trademarked some gold collection that might be coming. If she did a mid-size gold palette, I would be so thrilled. So I am leaving room for maybe an additional Natasha Denona to come into my collection. But I have my mid-size ones, my minis, Metropolis, Pat McGrath, Huda, Tati, and my Sydney Grace and Makeup Geek Z palette. Any palettes that have a black square, that is either where there is not a shadow in that space, or that space is empty, or that pan is empty in the palette. So like in this Z palette, I only have 6 shadows on the second row because that is what fits. So coming over to this page here, I do have my Lethal palettes, my Cosmic brushes, and or Cosmic Beauty, depending on when she changes the name of the company, Odin's Eye, and then Glaminatrix. I did leave a whole bunch of room over here on the indie page just because this is the main part of my collection that I want to grow in 2024. If we turn the page, same thing on this side with the graph papers, but I have my Too Faced, and this was the one where I had to change my number of shades in the palette because the Peachy Mattes has 3 shades that are missing out of it that are empty. So I have my Too Faced palettes, ABH, Sigma, Urban Decay starts here with Stone Vibes and goes down here. This is all Viseart, and then ColourPop starts with the So Jaded, all of my 9 pans, and then the Give It To Me Straight, which I have turned into an 8 pan, and then the Sweet As Can Be. So I did leave a whole bunch of room on this page here to expand more mainstream type of palettes over on this side. So I do have plenty of room to grow on both sides, but this is how I am going to set up my No Pan Left Behind on my graph paper in my journal, where I can mark this off every day, and hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of insight into how I am tracking. Another way that I track my usage on my No Pan Left Behind is I use Canva to create my graphics. Now I do pay for the premium part of Canva just because I use it to make my thumbnails and everything, but as far as doing a No Pan Left Behind and tracking your shadows, the free version does that just as well. I do find that having it on Canva also really helps. So if I get down to the point that I only have like 3, 4, 5 shadows left in a palette and I want to combine them into a look, it's nice just to look at the photo on Canva and have all the shades that are like free and open kind of there, so my mind can make up what the palette or what my look is going to be, rather than me looking at the palette itself with all the rest of the shades kind of like jumbling my field of vision type thing. That's just how my brain ends up working. But I highly recommend checking out Canva, and again, you do not need to pay for the premium version. The free version does so much, so I highly recommend that as well. So with the way that I am tracking and have set up my No Pan Left Behind for the year, that leaves us with drawing my first 5 palettes. So I have my Tiny Decisions wheel up, and I have my No Pan Left Behind wheel loaded. So I'm crossing my fingers. I love all my palettes that I have right now, so I don't need to cross my fingers, but let's go ahead and see what the first one is going to be. Too Faced Pumpkin Spice. Not mad about that. I need a sip of coffee. I'm not mad about that, and it's not necessarily for the season, but it still has a lot of those really nice fall tones. And does it really get to be winter here in Florida? Like, really? Really? Our leaves are still changing. I have a maple tree, and the leaves are still changing. So pumpkin spice will do just fine. Rolling number 2. Ooh, the Viseart Rose Edit. Very good shades and kind of like dark tones. Again, kind of a fall palette, but I'm not mad at it. Let's see what palette number 3 is going to be. Stoned Vibes. Ooh, that's a good one too. There's some really icy tones in that and some blues, so that we'll get some nice winter looks. And again, I like that. Last year I was grouping a lot of the brands together, so I was using the palettes like all one right after the other. Whereas with doing this, where it's mixing it up and I'm kind of pulling multiple brands, like I feel like this is going to be more fun than last year. But let's roll palette number 4. And that's going to be the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. Again, a beautiful palette. So that one I am looking forward to. And our last palette that we're going to start working on is Mercury Retrograde. Great, great palette for the winter time. So love that. And not only that, but I'm going to try to mix and match some of these palettes together and see if I can get some looks. Like I said, I'm going to try to get a little bit better about taking some photos of the looks, and so our next update, which is going to come on the 25th of February, I will try to have some looks to share with you guys with these palettes that the wonderful randomized wheel has picked for us. So I hope that you guys don't mind that I am combining these two projects and combining these two updates. I do want to have a set schedule with my videos, and the way things have fallen, I kind of feel like these would either be not as exciting updates or shorter videos if I did not combine them, which I know is fine, but if I'm going to sit down and film, I want to get content out. And I don't have a whole lot of time to film multiple small videos. I only have maybe 1 or 2 opportunities per weekend to film. So I am trying to be mindful of not overstressing myself by having 2 short videos versus 1 longer video. So I hope that you guys will forgive me and maybe just use that video as a video you play when you're getting ready in the morning. That is how I love to watch longer videos. So I hope that you guys will love it too. But I am so excited about my panning and my usage and even just my content and my channel in 2024. You guys made 2023 so memorable and so amazing that I know that it is going to be a wonderful place to be here on YouTube in 2024 because you guys have made it that way. With that said, you guys know I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to encourage you to do all the things. Go ahead and hit a thumbs up on this video if you are liking my content, if you are liking my project pans, if you are also excited about this. I know a lot of you guys are doing kind of a rotating through your collection type of projects and even a no pan left behind. You guys have been telling me all your plans for your projects, so make sure to keep me updated. So drop those down below, leave me a comment, let me know how you guys are doing. Of course, subscribe if you are not already. I really do appreciate it. You guys got me to 1,000 subscribers at the end of 2023, and I just know that 2024 is going to be the same with us building this community of extremely supportive and mindful and amazing people. But if that sounds like a community that you want to be a part of, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of my videos and any of the amazing conversations that we have down below in the comment section. I am going to go pull all of these items out of my collection and weigh them all and take my pictures. So let me get on top of that so I can edit this and get this up for you guys. But otherwise, I wish you guys a beautiful day and I will catch you in my next one.